You had a young sister at the job and she was inside of a meeting. And while she's inside of a meeting at the Children's Hospital in Wisconsin, a doctor makes a racially charged terroristic comment to this sister. Let's roll the clip.
During a work seminar on June 12th for Children's Hospital employees, Sierra Robinson says she was instructed to raise her hand as part of a team building exercise.
Before I could even raise my hand, that's when the doctor said, "What's the matter with you? Do you want to get lynched?"
Robinson says that doctor was Lori Wyorick. The 23-year-old hospital housekeeper who declined to show her face for the interview says she told Human Resources how uncomfortable the word lynch made her feel as an African-American woman coming from a white woman.
It means to hang and kill African Americans. I felt threatened.
In response, Robinson received this letter of apology from Wyorick. It reads, "There was no harmful racial intent. Rather, it was meant as another way to say gang up, calling the statement an ignorant mistake and acknowledging that doesn't make it right." Children's Hospital also said in a statement to Fox 6, "As soon as we were made aware of these allegations, we immediately initiated our internal investigation and review process. The individual involved in this situation is no longer employed by Children's Hospital." While Robinson is relieved by the outcome, she says Wyorick and the hospital only parted ways this week once she asked the activist group, the original Black Panthers, to protest on her behalf.
They shouldn't have to take an army of us to actually have our voice heard. Because if she's saying it to me, what else is she saying or doing to others like me?
And Robinson says she would also like an apology and counseling from Children's Hospital. The Black Panthers are calling for diversity training as well. Meanwhile, efforts today to reach Dr. Wyorick were unsuccessful.
I'm glad this sister is calling this out. I'm glad she got with the original Black Panther group that's in her area. And I'm glad this being put out because it was very, very not only offensive, but this is something that this sister should sue over. And I'm liking the play this sister's making in this video. I love it because she is laying the groundwork for a civil lawsuit. And that's good. Get her in her pocketbook. Get it. Let it be a form of reparations to you. They always want to use some sort of racism. Listen, they use racism on the job. Don't you scream and yell. Don't you want to fight. Don't do anything. Just be a straight victim. And go and sue. Emotional distress, let them say whatever they want to say and get paid. Use the lawsuits to your advantage, Black people, when you deal with issues like that. Now, this woman is treating patients, treating children at the Children's Hospital, and she's running around using the term lynched. No one really used the term lynched in their lexicon in this country unless someone literally has been lynched. But she thinks that's okay to use toward Black people. And if you want to come around and act like she's sorry about what she said, you're only sorry you got caught. And as they were stating, they weren't doing anything about it until it got exposed. This is why Black people, we must constantly expose racism on the job. We must expose this system of white supremacy and how it operates and spread that worldwide. We have to do that. Because we are not going to stay silent when these issues happen. And we also need to wake up other Black people to what's going on. And that's what part of what I'm trying to do is wake up other Black people to the country that you're living in. We have some Black people that's oblivious to this. They just get shocked. I can't believe this happened. And I'm like, where have you been? But as we put out the different stories and we show people in everyday life that deal with racism, then they start getting it. They start relating to it. And also it breaks down a lot of propaganda that's been put out there against us. See, these people they doing this to isn't Pookie and Ray Ray. I don't ever hear no stories against Pookie and Ray Ray. I always hearing stories about Black children selling water, cutting grass, calling the police on them, Black person at a job messing with them, so forth and so on. Just decent everyday people as just trying to make a living, or a kid trying to be an entrepreneur, and they got to deal with some sort of racist. This is why when I hear people saying from African nations, they believe African Americans, this is some, not all, that African Americans are what the white supremacist media show. That is further from the truth. And I will always tell our African brothers and sisters, stop watching that television. We live in the information age. This is the things that we want to show you so you be educated to really what happens in this country. A black woman shouldn't go to a meeting and have to hear about lynchings. Shouldn't have to hear that. But Sister Sue, get the money. And also, let's put that picture up of that woman. That woman don't need to be around no black children at all. At all. Keep that woman away from black children. Because I'm afraid what she'll do to them. I don't trust this woman. Stay away from her, black folks. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about this particular story. We have to always be careful with these racists. They are everywhere. Please understand that. Don't think the racists are Richard Spencer or the Klan. They are doctors. They are lawyers. They are police officers. They are judges. They work at the grocery store. They're at the movie theater. They are everywhere. Trust me on this. Once you learn that, then you know how to act accordingly, navigating America.